Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 49 of Ace Attorney Investigations. Last time, we stripped Alba of his ambassadorship, so basically now he is vulnerable. He continued to try and protest against our efforts. He gave a pretty much airtight alibi, but then Larry appeared with old bag and pretty much shattered it by bringing in the Iron Infant, and now we are basically using the fact that that the fountain was used as a smuggling route for the body. Now let's get going. Let's continue. The water level in the pool can be controlled by opening and closing the spouts. Machina and the body were lifted upwards by their buoyancy in the water. The fire on the Babylon's side and the firefighting efforts, these were set in motion all for the sake of smuggling Mr. Cochrane's body. Shall I show you where the final destination my train of logic leads? First, Mr. Alba closed the fountain spouts in advance, in preparation for things to come. Then he took the pushcart that was brought to the rose garden, and pushed it along with the Iron Infant and Mr. Cochrane's body into the pool. At this time, Machina was busy conveniently starting the first firemobile. She then made for the open air stage's pool to wait for the firefighting effort to begin. When the firefighters used the water in the pool, the water levels went down. And by the time the fire was put out, the pipe between the two pools was exposed. This is when she pushed the car from the Alabastian side into Babille. Once that was accomplished, Mr. Alba simply opened the fountain spouts once more. And the water levels rose up to the original level along with Machina and the body. After that, Machina used the pushcart to carry the body up to the Secretariat's office. There was an elevator in the embassy after all, so you see, even with her small frame, she could easily transport Mr. Cochrane's body. And that wraps up my thorough explanation of how the body was moved. No! Well, ex-ambassador Alba, what do you think? Not so touchable that your precious extraterritorial rights are protect you, are you?
I knew you could do it, Mr. Edgeworth. Way to fight back.
You accuse me of moving the body across country lines. But when you get down to the nitty-gritty, you don't have what it takes to indict me.
The nitty-gritty? What's the old man want now?
Proof, I believe, is what he seeks. Yes, proof. Without any who is to say whether or not any of what you said really happened.
He wants proof? What are we going to do, Mr. Edgeworth?
There's no need to worry. I've had all the proof we need all along. The body wasn't the only thing to go through the pools connecting pipe tonight. Yes, Detective Gaucho found the pushcart in the open-air stage area. So too did I find one other item there. And that piece of evidence is what will prove that the pools were the smuggling route. This was another thing that was smuggled over into Babille's open-air stage area. The weird pedal. Where is it? The pick.
Take that!
And what exactly is this? You have no idea, do you? This little piece that I found on the Babylon's side would be your undoing. A guitar pick? Would you care to explain how that is going to do me, as it were? Are you going to lecture me with this modern hip-hop crap, like what the local pals and the governors are doing? Because it will not work! I am a fan of getting love! It is my passion! Much to your chagrin, perhaps, but this is not a guitar pick. What? This is something I found at the open-air stage area, which was transported with the body. I naturally assumed that you would recognize it, since you took a photo with it after all. But since you don't, allow me to fill you in on what I found at the stage actually belongs to.
Take that!
Now let's take a good look at the murder weapon that was used to kill Mr. Manny Cochrane. On the handle of this knife, there's a beautifully blooming flower. However, it would appear that it's missing a single petal. Now, let's see what happens when we try to fit this pick into that slot.
It's a perfect fit.
I assume that the petal must have fallen off of the flower during Mr. Cochrane's murder. And then it was accidentally placed into the pushcart along with Mr. Cochrane's body. That's an interesting story. Nothing more. Oh, I assure you, it's more than just a story. Yes, for some odd reason, this flower petal was wet when I found it. It was wet? You say? Yes, and the only place it could have gone wet from is the open-air stage's pool. Now I ask you, how did a part of a weapon of the weapon, which was smuggled into the theater, wind up in the open-air stage area on the Babylon side of the embassy. I don't think I need to waste any words explaining this, as the pedal explains it all for me. It proves that someone went from the Rose Gardens pool on through into Babylon. Impossible! What is this music? It's my pursuit theme. It's so catchy! The people saying I've been waiting to see you face to face, Mr. Alba. I'll tell everyone back home we'll be there soon. You should be happy. Yes! Why? Why? It's a little late to be asking that question. You should have known from the very beginning. I'm Miles motherfucking Edgeworth. When you've talked your first life, no matter how you may plot or how you may try to cover it all up, you can't escape me because I'm Miles motherfucking Edgeworth and I control this world. You can never hide from your crime and what you've done, because we're here to see to it that justice is served to people like you. You can't call what you've given a perfect argument. What you saying me? What you saying me? I was raised by Master Von Karma. I know what perfect is.
You know, I don't think this guy is going to ever admit to his wrongdoings, Mr. Edgeworth, because he values himself above all else. People who negotiate with or people who refuse to admit when they lost. I don't believe those kinds of people really exist because everyone breaks that eventually.
You're right. In that case, I have no choice but to use all of the evidence I have. I'll use it until he breaks under the weight of his crimes. Mr. Alba, I request that you testify once more. Yeah, that's right. We're beating the dead horse. This really will be the end of the line. To be continued. We still have about another hour. No, we're not saving. Yes, it keeps going and going and going. It's 3:33 in the morning. No one has slept. No one has drinking any coffee. They're all just driven. They all have insomnia. Look at Edgeworth. It looks like Edgeworth hasn't slept in 15 years. Mr. Alba, I request that you testify once more. I won't deny you sleepy! It's 3 o'clock in the morning! As if there is anything else for me to testify about! I still have yet to fully prove that it was Mr. Alba who murdered Mr. Cochrane. Well, I would like to hear about your movements before the murder occurred. I wonder if you could tell us what you did here at the Theatre Neutralis. Very well. I suppose I could tell you about that. Because about all I did was watch the Sea Samurai stage show. Elaborating on even that alone is good enough for me. The only way for me to place this man to rest is to pinpoint the exact location of where the murder took place, for that is the key to this investigation. Okay, doing a quick check, making sure everything's good. Gotta make sure, yep, good, everything's good. Okay. I watched from the last row. The stage was well lit, but it was dark out in the audience. I swear I was there in the audience, but it's hard to prove that, I suppose. I do remember the content of the show very well, though. Is that proof enough for you? The moving scenes were seared into this old man's heart. I'll never forget them. So you were in the theater proper, watching the Steel Samurai stage show, weren't you? Of course I was! I have a great fondness for the Steel Samurai. Yeah, I was pretty cool up there, wasn't I? You're not the one who is cool! It's the Steel Samurai who is cool!
Yeah, the Steel Samurai special finishing move today was really something, huh?
Hey, Edgy! Who is she? Who's the super cute girl? She's underage, Larry! She's been standing here this whole time and only now he notices her! Her name's Kate Faraday, and she's helping you in my investigation. And she's 17, Larry! You try to date her, you go to jail!
Sorry I didn't get to introduce myself earlier, but better late than never.
Yes, okay, I'm Larry Butts! Silence in the peanut gallery! There is no time for such trivialities at a time like this! Mr. Prosecutor, this is the final battle, you got that? I know, this is the end. For that man there. Now that's the kind of thing I like to hear. I think I'll give trusting you a try, Mr. Prosecutor, or rather, Mr. Edgeworth. I leave this critical battle up to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Have no fear, I will finish the job. This really is the end game. The time has come to expose every last one of Mr. Alba's lies. I want to just press everything. The last row. I should think that an ambassador would have had a special seating reserved. I wanted myself to enjoy the Steel Samurai show as well, so I gave up all of the good seats for them. It was enough for me to simply see them. Hey, the Steel Samurai was the only here. Let's not forget about the Pink Princess here. Trust me, you're the reason I want to sit in the back. I didn't want to see you. My dear madam. No. If you can't continue to thrust about like that, your hip may begin to hurt again. Oh my! Well, aren't you the considerate person when you want to be? You take her! Hell, that should be almost punishment! Just marriage to old bag, and then house arrest. That would be the ultimate punishment. But this young butterfly is on the side of edgy poo. So you can't spare me the flirtation, come on. Good! I don't want to anyways! I have Alabastian hot girls!
Wow, he's completely frozen!
In frustration, perhaps, I dare say she can be one rather trying opponent. In any case, Mr. Alba, can you actually prove to us that you were watching the show?
Hold it!
Are you admitting then that you have no way of proving that to us that you were watching? Quiet! You buzz in my ear like a pesky little fly! If you don't wish to listen quietly until the end of what I have to say, then perhaps you should pack up and get out of my way! I see that you're willing to be a bit more receptive now. While it's true, it may have been difficult to prove that I was out in the audience. Okay, next line. Well, I remember the concept of the show as well myself. That's nice! That's nice! Miles Edgeworth, don't allow yourself to be riled up by him at this important juncture. I was applying to let him. Well, if you ask me, I think I'm the biggest Steel Samurai expert around here. And then Edgeworth just runs up to Larry and just punches him. No! Objection! And did you think the cinematic scene of today's show is just totally awesome? Yes, I remember that well. And a spectacular special move. The way you delivered the final blow at the evil majesty. At least a rain job. Oh, that thing will live on in my heart forever. Is that how it went? Hey, I totally forgot about that. How can you forget your own special moves? That's the special attack that the samurai uses when he's using his samurai spear. Yes, and today was the first time they showed it off, was it not? If I had been watching the show, then how could I answer you with the name of the move? I suppose you are correct, but if you could, please elaborate on this point for me. However, we know Samurai Spear was broken. Larry's idiocy actually saves the day. The special move today was the anti-summer rain jab. Is that your final answer? You little irritating nut! Do you think you can trip me up by asking the same question over and over? Well, I'm not that guy, so no. That was not my intention. Your testimony is more than sufficient. However, I believe it would be wise for you to take a look at this. The samurai spear! What about it? This spear actually never made it on stage today. Excuse me? Heh. Unfortunately for you, tonight's Steel Samurai happened to be a goof of a young man with the abundance of useless not bloodiness. Having said that, said useless man bent the spear during his rehearsal this evening. Okay, do you remember what the Steel Samurai special move was tonight?
It was the Steel Samurai Sushi Slash!
Correct, because he couldn't use the spear, a last-minute change was made. Had you really been watching the show, you would have known that the move that was used. Quackus Alba, you didn't watch even a single minute of the Steel Samurai stage show tonight, did you? Haha! So he wasn't watching the stage show tonight? Then it opens up the possibility that he was busy killing Mr. Cocker instead! So where were you during the show? I demand an answer now! Just what's so funny? You're also sloppy. And so are your conclusions. I still insist that I watch the show, or most of it in any case. What did you mean by most of it? You see, during the show, I left my seat for a spell to visit the bathroom. I am already my brutally sensitive. I assume that was when the dramatic scene was played out on stage.
That's the last lamest excuse I've ever heard in my life, pal!
Yes, Alba, the guy who literally uses "I had to use the bathroom" as an excuse. The only attorney in the history of the franchise to do that. Just because he got the name of the move wrong. We can't really use that as proof that he didn't watch the show at all.
As a fan of the Steel Samurai, I had wanted to watch the entire show, honest.
Actually, considering that Alba knew the move's name, chances are he is a fan of the series, funny enough. Hell, it would be hilarious if he and Edgeworth actually were friends on a Steel Samurai blog. But yet neither of them knew it.
As a Steel Samurai fan, for someone who wasn't even in his seat for the climax of the show, you have no right to call yourself a Steel Samurai fan, ever! Who was that just now?
Yo!
It would be I,
Young lady!
No! Larry, what are you doing interrupting me like that? Edgy, just hold on a sec, I beg! You may never accept this old man as a Steel Samurai fan, but I totally think he's a Steel Semantic.
What's exactly a Steel Semantic maniac, pal?
I believe he meant to say Steel Samurai Maniac. Yeah, and trust me, I know a real fan when I see one because I'm the Steel Samurai. I would never have known she was the true Steel Samurai!
Why are you getting so worked up over it, Mr. Edgeworth? It appears that the real Steel Samurai recognizes me as a fan. Huh? As well he should, for I am a fan. It's not as though I missed the entire show. It was a most amazing show filled with the spirit of the young and the young at heart. The sarcasm dripping where his long-winded nose couldn't run any thicker.
Getting the name of the move wrong only proves that he didn't watch the last scene. What I really need here is something more definitive. Something that links Mr. Alba directly to the murder of Mr. Manny Cochran.
You know what, Gramps?
You're really something else. I'm honored to receive such praise from the Steel Samurai, but what is it for? Well, I was just wondering how you found out about the early summer rain jab. The move is a bit of a secret that only a small portion of the staff knew about.
Wait, it was a secret.
Larry, wait, what did you just say? Huh? Did I say something stupid again?
Yes, but that's not the point.
Did you really say that the early summer rain jab was actually a secret? Well, maybe I shouldn't have said secret. It's more like we only decided on the name of the move right before the start of the show.
Right before?
Yeah, the stage director was going nuts because we were supposed to debut the move. About 5 minutes before the show, we threw it up on the dressing room's whiteboard. Early summer rain job. That's kind of how we decided the name of the move. But by that time, I'd already bent the spear, so I guess the whole thing was kind of pointless. All of you Steel Samurai actors are the same. The director has my complete sympathy. So basically, because we changed the move to Sushi Slash, we kind of pretended that the early summer rain job didn't exist at all. I mean, it'd be bad if someone found out we changed the move, so we made it a secret.
So basically, a gag order was issued for publicity's sake. It's almost like the early summer rain jab sounded like a lost art.
Yeah, which is why I think most of the staff haven't even heard of the move. Hold those lips of yours still! What's the heck, old man?
I've done nothing but listen, and from what I can tell, it's all unrelated to the case. It's also very tedious and pointless exercise and wasting time, much like a kid's show. Mr. Alba, I believe the one who should be quiet now is you.
How dare you!
I suspect that you've already noticed exactly what the very severe implications are in this man's testimony.
Ha! So now you're trying to bully me, huh? There is no implication to be read into the behind-the-scenes story of a kid's show. Don't even think about trying to slither your way at this one, Quirkus Alba.
You were the one who said yourself that the name of the move was Early Summer Rain Job. That name was only decided upon right before the show was about to start.
So, just what are you driving at? That the name of the move you told us was never used in the show or said aloud.
Now then, would you care to tell us about how you found out the name of the move?
Simple, because the crime happened in the dressing room. Because I can only think of one way you could have known.
Quirkus Alba, this is the only way you could have known the name of the special move.
You thought it, but I don't want to risk it. I am not risking it. You knew the name because you saw it. You saw it on the dressing room's whiteboard. Staff members who knew were keeping it a secret. So you couldn't have simply gone up to a staff member and asked. Which means that the only other option left is that you saw it on the whiteboard.
So that means that Mr. Alba was in the waiting room at some point, right?
But what's the big deal? I don't see what that means.
There's another piece of evidence that has a great deal to do with the dressing room. So we can't afford to let it slide. This is related to both the dressing room and Mr. Cochrane's murder.
Take that!
The pushcart that was used to move the body was right there in the dressing room. During the show, the pushcart waited to its return to be pushed on stage in the dressing room. And it was finally pushed there, along with the Iron Infant in the last scene of the show. Yes, Manny Cochrane was part of the show. And then right after the show ended, it went into Alba along with the Steel Samurai. Which means that the only time the killer could have placed the body inside the pushcart was when the pushcart was in the dressing room backstage.
So basically, the killer has to be someone who visited the dressing room during the show.
Precisely. Ah!
Oh, but wait, what if... And this is just a what if. What if the murder didn't take place in the dressing room?
What do you mean, Gay?
I have to admit, she brings up a valid possibility. During the show, the dressing room was supposed to be devoid of people. Anyone going into the private dressing room would stand out like a sore thumb. But despite that, the killer still managed to move the body with the pushcart. Correct. And it's because of the setup of the theater's dressing room. That would be the ideal location for the murder of Mr. Manny Cochrane. Quackers Alba, during the show, you went down to the dressing room. And I want to know why. Yes. Yes, I was there. I went into the dressing room.
I knew it! I'm placing you under arrest right now, pal! You got that? Arrest!
I repeat you on us, young man! Not of us!
What is it now?
Don't I deserve a chance to explain myself? Explain? What is there to explain? I believe I told you earlier that I went to the bathroom. Well, I got lost when I did. I wanted to ask for directions, but when I opened the dressing room door, no one was inside. And that's when I saw the name of the move on the whiteboard. You punk! Still trying to get out of this? Do you really think you can get away at this point?
Mr. Edgeworth, is there anything you can do to stop him?
I don't have enough evidence on hand to do anything. And I don't even have the airtight evidence I need to put this man away for good. But if that's why I need them, perhaps. Agent Lang, I believe an investigation of the dressing room is in question is in order. Also, that we may find new evidence there.
Yeah, Miss Edgeworth boys around there. I'm sure we'll find some new facts, pal.
Oh, if we do Little Thief, we may even learn something from the recreation.
We don't need to do any of that.
What, Wolfie? How can you?
I'm not saying this to be mean. It's just that we've already searched there. My men really are something else. And they found nothing? There's only one thing I can say to you, sis, and it's that they found nothing. That's it. I guess you're right. If they had found something, they would have reported it to us. They couldn't find anything because there was nothing there to find.
And if there's no info to be in the Little Thief, then I can't do much help either.
Is this the end? The murder took place in this theater, which is not protected under extraterritorial rights. And the fact that it was Mr. Alba himself who committed the murder. If I can't prove both statements to be true, Mr. Alba walks away a free man. Is there no other course of action left to us? It would appear that your hand of cards turned to be a bust. Now, if you will excuse me, because of you people, I missed my flight. I must take haste to arrange for a new one.
Who is it this time?
Hold it right there, you whippersnappers. Ah, first Larry, now you! Why is it with that scary mobster-like scowl on your face, Edgy Poo? Don't treat me like I'm some sort of nuisance, because you are! I've been meaning to say this, but all you keep talking about things I don't get at all. Just all leaving this lady in the sad, depressing, lonely dust that I'm about to cry in. Why did you have to speak up right at this instant? Well, you know what, Edgy Poo? Cheer up, because I'm about to give you the most wonderful thing. The sweet release of death. The most wonderful thing from you. It's so super special that I could give it away to just anyone you know. My special present of love to my sweet Edgy Poo. Are you ready? Is this? It's...
It's a box of those samurai dogs, right?
Yes, oh, Edgy Poo, here you go. Go on, eat one, you'll feel right as rain. Are we through here? Why everyone gets so quiet all of a sudden? Edgy Poo, tell me you understand the depth of this lady's love for you. I'm not the one to hand out snacks willy-willy, you know. The thought occurred to me that maybe it would be good if I fed you and all, and you were nice and full. One day, I introduced on my own homemade food. I mean, it isn't the desire of everyone to make sure that their beloved never goes hungry. And was there every reason one day I used to make them with the desiring ingredients that I do in front of me. I was in the kitchen.
Mr. Edgeworth, can't you do anything better?
I tried! If I could, you think she'd be here? There's no point on earth I can force that woman into silence. But I'm so sick and tired of it. All you people do is look down on me. Even this box of samurai dogs played me for a fool. It had a special design on its fan, like the Japanese flag, so I thought it was special. But when I ate one, it tasted like all the rest. Ooh, it made me so mad. Wait, a special box with a Hinomaru-like fan on it. I've never heard of such a piece of merchandise existing before. I'm selling it on eBay! No, it's going in my collection. However, there it is. The red rising sun on this fan is filled in. It's impossible. Could it be? Sir, the samurai dogs were piled up on the dressing room floor. However, there's no such thing as the rising sun dog. This contradiction of facts between something that should not exist yet does. The rays from this rising sun must be just what we need to point us in the right direction. A present? The studio bigwigs basically told us to play delivery boys. We were supposed to hand the dogs out to the embassy people and tell them hi. I had to pile them all into the pushcart just to move them all. I believe you understand what this means, correct? You killed Mr. Cocker at the theater and then placed his body inside the pushcart. And then, you forced the steel samurai to unwittingly move the body for you. It's time to piece the final pieces of this logic puzzle together. No matter how fragile or small the connections may be, once we found them all, the true way to the truth will be revealed. Okay. I know. Yes, beautiful! The pieces don't fit together quite right. The killer used the pushcart to transport the body, which means that they had to remove the samurai dogs from within first. Therefore, the samurai dogs that were piled up on the dressing room floor were most likely taken out of the pushcart by the killer. That which should not exist, this box of samurai dogs with the Inomaru on it. If this red rising sun was filled in when the killer was busy removing the dogs from the pushcart, then it's proof that the murder took place in the dressing room, as long as this red substance turns out to be what I believe it to be. Wendy, old bag? I thank you. Ah! I can't believe it. Just that real. I felt the universe shaking from what I felt, just a tear in the space-time continuum just from the thought of Edgeworth thanking Oldbag. End of days, Armageddon's near. What you have given me is truly something very special. An edgy poo!
But Miss Edgeworth, are you sure you're feeling okay, Soy?
Mr. Alba, as I suspected, you killed Mr. Cocker in the dressing room. How many times must I listen to you repeat yourself? Haven't you figured it out yet? Your words are meaningless, worthless, and powerless. The only way I'm going to continue to cooperate is with definitive evidence. That arrogance, that self-confidence. You believe that you've erased every piece of evidence that you could incriminate you. However, there remains one piece here, and that is what will put you away for good. And CzarThwomp has to check his thing to make sure no freeze-ups are happening. Good, good. Everything's happening normally. Good, good. Ha! You're bluffing! Oh, hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Sounds like you finally found them. You found the fangs we need to go after this guy's jugular. I don't want a picture like Alba's jugular. So tell us, what about that box of samurai dogs that's gonna put the old man away? The trace evidence that would bring him down, why, it's here, of course. Smoke's camera dogs with the rising sun ban on it. This should never have existed. So I want you all to take a good look at this red spot. It's a single red drop of blood.
Huh?
What? Blood, you say? Agent Lang, I'd like this blood and how it's supposed to taste. I've got to admit, I'm a bit surprised. I can't believe we found blood in a place like this. Hey you, get this down to the lab pronto. Don't you have a bottle of luminol? I mean, everyone has luminol in the Eastern universe.
Why was there blood in that box to begin with?
If we think about the flow of the crime, I think the reason will become obvious. Harry, you said that you transported the samurai dogs with the pushcart, correct? Oh, yeah! You have a great memory, Edgy. That pushcart was a bit too big for my son, you know what I mean? So to make sure everyone could see him, I had to pile some stuff in. I figured that the samurai dogs were there, so I used them to fill up the cart. If what Larry says is true, then what were the boxes doing on the floor? I see, the killer took them out in order to place the body in the pushcart. Exactly, and that's where I believe the victim's blood found its way onto the box. But then, when my men investigated that room, not a single box of samurai dogs was in there, because embassy staff members had already confiscated them. Yes, no doubt to hide the evidence of the murder.
It's a good thing Mr. Oldbag managed to steal that one box before they got to them, huh? Looks like Mr. Oldbag also managed to put this great thief to shame.
What a scandalous way of putting that! I didn't steal, I received that from myself. Marcus Alba, I'd say this was one very fatal oversight on your part. Sorry to rain on your little love fest, however. How? How can he be so self-confident in a no-win situation for him like this? It's like he's that guy. Even if the blood turns out to belong to Mr. Cochrane, so what?
So, Mr. Edgeworth, it sounds like he's not ready to call quits yet, huh?
The sole piece of evidence that was left at the scene of the crime. That alone has shed light on the new fact. At the very least, we now have some proof that the murder occurred in this dressing room. And you say that like it means something.
Huh?
Excuse me, sirs. Report! What were the results of the analysis? Sir, the analysis came back and confirmed that the red substance is blood. I knew it. With this quick as Alba. Mr. Edgeworth, I wonder if you might humor my question. Your question? The one from before, or have you forgotten? Even if that is Mr. Cochrane's blood, what difference would it make? Like we already told you, it proves that the crime scene was the dressing room. But it doesn't prove that I am your killer, does it? That's... He has a very good point. The blood on that box doesn't prove that Mr. Alba is the killer.
Then, the evidence, it's meaningless.
That can't be! We were so close, Soy!
I want to smack that smug look on his face. I'm gonna punch him, Mr. Edgeworth. Come on, there's gotta be something we can do.
We finally found a solid piece of evidence. There must be something I can expose with it. I can't think of a single thing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be on my way. Who was it? It's too late. I wouldn't allow anyone to stop me now.
It wasn't me, pal!
And it wasn't me this time either. And it wasn't me either. It was me. Why did you? Because I haven't finished reporting everything to you yet, sir. There's more? What? Hurry up and spit it out. Yes, sir. That blood I mentioned. It's not of the same blood type as the victim's blood. What?
No!
What? What do you mean it's not the same type? You mean it's not the victim's blood? If it isn't his, then who the hell's is it? I don't know, sir! All I know is that it's not the same blood type as the victim, sir.
What should we do, Mr. Edgeworth? I have no idea what's what anymore.
Neither do I. My, what an amusing turn of events. That blood drop proved something to be true, alright? Namely my words. And which one of your words would that be? All of them! The ones where I said that your words are meaningless, worthless, and powerless. That blood has nothing to do with the matter investigation whatsoever. May I remind you that the blood got onto the box before it entered the embassy.
What sort of nonsense?
Yeah, it's a blood, pal. There's no way it's not related to murder.
So you would like to believe? It's not like CzarThwomp hasn't had nosebleeds while recording. Yeah, in that case, I'd be on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list with how many nosebleeds I get. Well, literally, like, remember Trials and Tribulations, just that one nosebleed I had? I'm doing Desi's voice, and all of a sudden my blood splatting on my screen, or my Overlord Let's Play, where basically I was bleeding and trying to record and control the minions. Ugh. But what if someone preparing the stand said a small nosebleed? What then? Thank you, Alba. You understand the plight of the bleeding challenged.
I guess that's possible.
Damn it! Have we been wasting our time on a red herring? The blood doesn't belong to anyone connected to the case. That should be clue enough. Quercus Alba, you bastard! Yes, the one time the word bastard is used in the Ace Attorney franchise. Literally, savor this moment. Savor this moment. Because this never happens again. Lang, Edgeworth, Phoenix, no one ever... Oh, sorry, that guy. They never use the word ever again. This is the only time bastard is used in the series. Just gaze upon it. Gaze upon the bastard. Silence! Don't you ever address me with such a filthy word again! It will never be in any other games! I was enough time here with you, and you have your answers. Now let me through! Alba, it doesn't matter where you went off to. You'll never escape me. Someday I'll have the satisfaction of sinking my fangs with you. You'll see. And all of Interpol will be by me, working to see it when that day comes. Do you know what your words sound like to me? Blah, blah, blah! They sound like the words of a pathetic loser of a mutt. I don't even know what sound that was. Is this really the extent of all we can do? This will be the finale episode. I've determined it so. Is the blood really from someone completely unrelated to the case? Or is there another possibility? Someone else other than the victim? Just when I thought I had him backed into a corner, it is I who has been the backed one. In a situation like this, what would that man do? Exactly! Even the most dramatic of moments, Phoenix is that man! What would he who can turn a desperate situation around do? Literally! Just use Phoenix's name! Just use Phoenix's name, Edgeworth! Turn it around. That's it! I must turn my way of thinking around! It's not whose blood it is, it's whose blood could get onto a box like this. And if I think about it that way, the blood got into the box and the body was being placed into the pushcart. And the owner of said blood must have been in the dressing room at the time. There's only one person that could be. Well, I must praise you for trying so hard. It's because of you kids that I was removed from center stage, and will be forced to live out the rest of my life in the shadows, unfortunately. But it's not a total loss, as the underworld will allow me more freedom than you'll ever know. Freedom like what the raven feels as it flies to the dark night sky. You can't lay a finger on me, not now or ever. The aim of the arm of the law is powerless before me. It is a weak baby arm. Powerless, is it? I wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you. What do you mean? Allow me to describe you in one word. Pitiful. Edgeworth then pushes down some sunglasses. Pitiful? How so? Quercus Alba, your wings were clipped long ago. And for someone who is trying to fly away on them without noticing that fact, pitiful is the perfect word to describe you. Ha! Mere words!
What do you mean by his wings were clipped, Mr. Edgeworth?
Just when you think it means, Kay. We already caught him in our trap a while back. With an incredibly powerful definitive piece of evidence. Hey, Earth to you, Mr. Bros, do you care to speak in English? Excuse me, burped a little. What are you talking about? What piece of evidence? The piece I speak of is, of course, this drop of blood. But we know that's not from the victim. I don't see how it remains relevant to this case at all. It's for karma. I believe that is exactly why it's very important to this case. And that part that is the most important is the fact that it's not the victim's blood. You're looking a little pale. Good. I believe you are already aware of what I mean. Then you know who the blood belongs to? Of course I do. This piece of evidence is the irrefutable proof that will stop the killer in his tracks. The blood that soiled this box of samurai dogs belongs to this person. Yes, it belonged to Fad! Old bag! Burn Faraday! Gumshoe! Quercus Alba. Yeah, Quercus Alba is actually the oldest character who we meet in the Ace Attorney series. Fun fact. And I love how Edgeworth hasn't even updated the file yet.
Take that!
The blood on the rising sun on this box belongs to you, Quercus Alba. What? What?
Why is his blood on the box of samurai dogs? He's not even the victim.
Blood fell onto the box when Mr. Cochran's body was being loaded onto the pushcart. At that time, the only two people in the dressing room were the victim and his killer. So that's what you mean. If the blood doesn't belong to the victim, then the only other person it could belong to? Yes, and that person is the murderer himself. That's the only logical conclusion.
But Mr. Cochran was the one who was stabbed, sorry. Why would Mr. Alba have been the one who was bleeding?
What if during the murder, Mr. Cochran had fought back? You mean if before Mr. Alba could kill him, Mr. Cochran managed to wound Mr. Alba? Yes, and I believe we have a piece of evidence that proves that he was bleeding then. What's the piece of evidence that shows Mr. Alba was possibly bleeding at the time? Okay. Yes. And Pastor Alba's wound, yes. We got the nip shot.
Take that!
Mr. Alba, you bear on your body a great wound. That was from when the Master 2 attacked me with a pair of scissors. The only other wound on me is the wound to my pride that you caused by taking away my ambassadorship.
Yeah, and that happened way after he was in the dressing room.
But is that what really happened? You can manufacture a weapon by smearing blood on it, so I can't just accept them as a fact. Shall we try a test, Mr. Alba, and see if the shape of your wound matches the scissors? You really are something else, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't let a single string slip by you, no matter how insignificant the possibility. You're the one to talk, Mr. Alba, and CzarThwomp has to check his thing because he's paranoid as crap because this video's been going on for a while. Okay, good, everything's recording still. Good. You've managed to give the law the slip for 10 years as the smuggling ring's leader. No matter what the danger, you can hide every last ounce of fear and anxiety from everyone. You are truly a one-of-a-kind criminal. I am the master of my fear. However, to think that a person such as you could miss such a large thing. You believe I've overlooked something? You said that my wound was caused by Mr. Cochran, and that it was caused here in one of the theater's dressing rooms, right? Yes, that is correct. I'd like to point out that it's simply not possible. My wound is a stab wound, and one that could only come from a blade. I wonder where you would propose that such a weapon came from.
That deer was packed with security guards.
It would have been impossible for anyone to come into this area with a weapon of any sort. Just as Mr. Alba was able to bring in the Alabastian knife in a bouquet, there must have been some other way to sneak in a weapon of some sort. But as long as you can't prove that the other way around is, or you can talk like Mr. Cochran stabbing is pure nonsense. So if that other way does exist, you'd better hurry and tell me now. With pleasure. Wait, what? This piece of evidence shows us how Mr. Cochran brought a weapon to this theater.
Take that!
The Yagarasu key. Among law enforcement, this piece of evidence is known as the Yagarasu key. But the key!
That's the key that my father stole from here 7 years ago.
And it is very unique in that it is both a key and a knife. Meaning that under the guise of a key, it could have been easily brought into the theater. No! You couldn't dispose of the knife that stabbed you. Therefore, you wiped out the blood and placed it back into Mr. Cochran's pocket. After all, the key itself opens the safe in his office. And inside that safe, there was a document about Kodopian paper, signed by Mr. Cochran. In order to make it look like Mr. Cochran died as the leader of the smuggling ring, you had to make it so that the police were the ones who opened that office safe. All that hard work to save yourself only served to destroy you in the end. Shall we try matching this knife's blade with your wound, Mr. Quercus Alba? And that is what some may call the coup de grace. Impossible! You can't take me down! Swine, all of you! Especially Manny Cochran! That is all because of that Birdman's betrayal, that filthy Borginian son of a Borginian! He sought to steal control of the smuggling from me by removing me as ambassador, which is why he deserved to die while bearing the guilt for all of my crimes for me. This is why I sent out the Yotagarasu squad and how this incident was born. Manny was supposed to be the smuggling leader who was killed by the Yotagarasu. But I had yet another reason, yet another story that was supposed to play out. Manny's death was supposed to bring everything to a close, and I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling prosecutors. Yes, got throwing that Scooby-Doo reference. Edgy Poo, where are you? We've got some investigation to do now. Oh, I should pull up my parody for this. Miss Alba, I'm afraid there's one more question I forgot to ask. This country's or Alabast's? Which country's court would you like to face first? Either way, it's game over for you. My Viagra wore off. Okay, no more Alba voice. The Alba voice has died. It's gone. We're in the end game now. Yes, Edgeworth and his 8 hours of sleep and his 2 hours of sleep. District Court Lobby number 2.
You, this is it. The big day. It's Mr. Alba's trial today.
And next week he's scheduled to stand trial in his own country of Alabas. Franziska's heading that one. I suspect she'll be serving a full course of whiplashes at it.
Having a business on karma and going right after facing you, Zoe? Ugh, I don't even want to think of what that would be like. The confidence of Mr. Alba as he was being escorted to the courthouse. And boy, he looked about as glum as I do the day before I get my monthly paycheck. You know, I've been thinking. That flight attendant and even Mr. Portsman were all Mr. Alba's secret agents.
Correct. That smuggling ring was the common thread between all of the incidents. Camille was to provide support during smuggling ops, using her job as an attendant, and Mr. Portsman was to manipulate trials related to the ring to end in their favor.
I play airlines even the prosecutor's office. No one was safe from the smuggling ring, huh, Soy?
I suspect there are even more members of this ring spread throughout the world.
Yeah, it sounds like such a big up that I can't even begin to imagine what it's like.
What is it, detective?
Nothing. It's just, well, come to think of it, Mr. Ernest Amano's trial is also scheduled for later today, Soy.
I'm aware of that. Mr. Amano has been working with the smuggling ring now for over 10 years. He used the Amano's group's various connections worldwide to assist the ring. But all of this that had come to an end as his conglomerate is now undergoing harsh scrutiny. I owe Mr. Amano a debt of gratitude, for he did several carpools by driving me from place to place in his Mitsubishi. But he must pay his debt to society.
Well, with the arrest of both Mr. Alba and Mr. Amano, I guess that's about wraps up the KGA incident, well, huh?
I suppose so. The real killer in the KGA incident 10 years ago was Manny Cochran. And 7 years ago, the killer in the second KGA incident was Mackerel. Those two facts are the unshakable truth. However, it seems that a lot of effort was put into hiding these and other truths from us. And I will expose it all at the trials today.
You're solving cases left and right today, aren't you, Soy?
CCU and Dade Man. Perhaps now these two brave souls who tried to make the truth known can rest in peace. By the way, I received some gifts from Ambassador Pauliano. Shrimp, crab beef. I don't eat any, so I'm giving them to you. Gumshoe is officially Edgeworth's trash can.
What? Seriously, though, I can eat food? Wait, actually, I don't think I want them anymore. The way you're holding them. Don't tell me they're just coupons, Soy.
Detective Gumshoe, have you not read the paper recently? Ever since the two countries began Godofia again, its economy has changed. Really? And it seems that Ambassador Pauliano has reaped a few benefits of his own from it. He's been announced as the official ambassador of the newly reunified Godofia.
But what a pity. Even though every item you said is a treasure, you don't seem all that interested. Well, if you don't want them, I can give them to my lovely assistant, Kay.
Wait, that's not what I said. So, Mr. Edgeworth, please let me have them, Soy. Actually, come to think of it, where is Kay? How come she's not here? Kay kicks Edgeworth.
Hey, you got me more alert than that.
Eek!
I can't believe you didn't even notice I was mimicking Mr. Edgeworth's voice for a bit.
I know he didn't notice you were or realize the voice was you.
Langzy says ferocious love blooms with each new spring.
Agent Lang, a pleasant surprise seeing you here.
Ugh, this place does that musk that I mentioned back in Gatewater Land. Really, you gotta check that out. It really reeks of mildew. I mean, it's like this really sour mildew. I mean, is it something in your air vents? It's been a long time since I set foot in a courthouse, but I wasn't gonna miss watching the guy who screwed up my country finally get what's coming to him. Well, that and something else. I want to see you in action in court.
Is that so, Agent Lang?
We've flushed out all the counterfeit bills, so Zangfa is finally at peace again. And it's all thanks to you, so I just want to say, thanks.
Wow, I never thought I'd see the day old Wolfie says thanks to Mr. Edgeworth.
I should be the one thanking you, Agent Lang. If you hadn't negated Mr. Alba's extraterritorial rights, I would not have been able to bring him to trial. I believe the victory belongs to both of us in this case.
A shared victory, huh? Look, don't get me wrong. I'll still never forgive you, prosecutors. And I have zero interest in that truth thing you talk about in court. I've always done things my own way, and that's not about to change. You got that?
I see. Well, I believe you should follow your own creed when you do the job.
Yeah, and if there's ever someone your precious truth can't catch, feel free to sit around and cry about it all you want. As for me, I'm gonna get that person no matter what.
Alright. It's about time for the trial to start. I will see you later.
I'll be watching your performance from the gallery. I'm looking forward to this.
I've been a whole time to take a tape for today's victory, Soy.
I'll help throw some around Mr. Edgeworth with.
Yes! I think it's confirmed that this confirms that Gumshoe's the one who throws around all that confetti whenever someone wins in court. Or Phoenix wins in court. Hope you got enough, because I'm gonna go call my men up as well.
A modest amount of ticker tape goes a long way. The scene shifts to the courthouse room, and the final act of this long tale begins. The legend of the great thief Yodogarasu is the story of those who chose to dedicate their lives to the pursuit of the truth. Prosecute those who seek a guilty verdict for the defendant they meet, and to that end, you have no choice but to win by any means necessary. That creed was forced on me since I was very young. However, I no longer think that is how all we prosecutors are, and that's because... Empty defense bench. You don't even get a cameo, right? That man gets no cameo. Even though I've only been away from the courtroom for a short time, I feel as though it's been a lifetime since I set foot in one. And today, more than any other day, I feel the fight within me rising.
Yes, objection, credit scene! Yes, okay. Credit time. Yes, Rhoda with Edgeworth captive.
I am really in Mr. Edgeworth's debt for the other day. Thanks to him, I'm still free to serve in the friendly blue skies. Oh, so about my suitcases. I've been selling them on the internet and they've become a real sensation. Thanks to the praise the art world has lavished on my work as being truly postmodern, i.e. crap, the airline has chosen me to design their new line of high-flight jumbo jets. Just think, someday you will be able to take a ride in my pink-walled, yellow-seated nightmare of a jet.
And Edgeworth has a bag on her. No! It's now on the Jets! Why?
Brute force! Edgeworth! What a rudeness of that rude man! Because of him, my time and money is wasted. But more importantly, I receive a most fantastic treasure recently, the Primidoc statue of the Principality of Cordofia. It was a bit light in my hand, but the ambassador of Paladino was most generous. But why is it ticking?
And then all of a sudden, boom! Just like...
Oneness buddy getting in the world! Yeah!
Yes, Alba cheated out, scammed a guy. We finally caught Agent Hicks' killer, and I was able to witness Mr. Alba's teary eyes. It feels so good to finally bring everything to a close. I received another offer from Interpol to work on another case in cooperation with them. However, the Kondovian courts await. Kondovia's air is supposedly to be very fresh, so on Whip should find new vigor there. Yes, we get K. Oh no, we get Meekins. Oh, pray there's no voice cracks. This little patrol has been fired as of today, sir! I thought I was safe since I found the gun I dropped! But I had no time to drop my police badge too! I guess what really broke the nails back was that I couldn't find my badge. My life has turned into a dog trap bull, sir! I'm gonna go on a rampage! And now go to the court and find a complaint to his Ruffles man! I'll shoot up that courthouse! Yeah, and then he gets with his gun and starts firing on people. You're all going to hell! Long live Satan! Yes, Emma! She makes her second appearance in the credits. Emma was here for like 2 seconds.
I was actually only talking with Mr. Edgeworth a little more than I did. To get more than 2 seconds of screen time, I've got to get going and return to Europe. I still got a long way to go and I got a lot of stuff to study there. Next time I'll help Mr. Edgeworth out in case, I'm going to do it as a real forensic scientist. I'm sure he's going to need all the help I can give him, scientifically speaking.
Okay. Almost done. Catchy music, I have to say. Yes, Lauren. She makes her a big appearance.
Because the kidnapping was staged, I was let off easy. But I wouldn't be going outside anytime soon, but that's really okay. The only person I've ever trapped in is this cage of love. The only prison, the guard at the detention center. Well, when he's on guard duty, he has such a cold look in his eyes, just like that prosecutor. But stop it, Lauren. When will you ever learn to stop being a prisoner of love?
Yes, that one guard who stands off to the side in every Ace Attorney Games detention center. Come, she just pushing officers aside. And the judge. It appears that there are all sorts of dramas that take place out in and outside the courtroom. Since we the judges are here day in and day out, I've only heard a few rumors, but apparently Mr. Edgeworth teamed up with a thief and became a detective. Maybe I should team up with a bailiff and try to become a lawyer or something. Yes, Maggie. She makes her appearance. Come on, Maggie. Start talking. Yeah, the same voice twice over.
Phew, I barely escaped death yet again!
Yeah, but boy, were we lucky to have Miss Edgeworth there to help us, huh?
Yeah, but because I lost the key, I got fired from my security guard job.
Don't let you down, Maggie. You still got me.
I'm even worse off. You're right, sir. I won't go. I'll pick myself up and get through this. I wonder what my next job should be. Oh, this is actually kind of fun.
And yet Maggie has never been hasn't been seen again. Maggie got hit got hit by the Sprocket Group's blimp. Sprocket Aviation's blimp. Their flying cathedral hit him, and Alba and Poliano in his.
Why not come to Cordovia for your summer vacation? We have coupons aplenty, and right now our embassy is proud to present our Let's Investigate the Murder show. Although repeating that particular has created a few small fires of its own, when we had a few problems with the fire marshals, but the next event will be great. At least I killed that Borginian before I get the premier statue too. It will be a attraction that I capture the great to get out to. Of course, I go to enlist case efforts and create our latest attraction.
Okay. Yes, Larry. I can't believe that Mindy ditched me and went to Japan. Really, Larry? You can't believe it? That's okay, because that's how I met my Miharu. We're planning to go to Paris soon. It's our business. We're gonna tell Blue Ocean Dogs. They'll sell like hotcakes hot dogs for sure. A blue hot dog, a blue bun, I guarantee it'll turn your tongue and your face blue. I know I'm not really the type to work a lot or really at all, but I noticed that I haven't really seen the guy in the blue suit. Oh, Larry! I wonder what's up. Well, next time we meet, I'm gonna make it be one of my dogs, or at least remember his name, Larry. Oh, hopefully Miharu isn't like Mahiru. Jeez, why are you so lazy, Larry? Why can't you be like Hajime? And bad, just standing with his gun. Edgeworth standing there with his arm. Today I gave testimony in court today as a member of the Yatagarasu. Yo, Mr. Bad, you look well, all things considered. By the way, have you noticed that elements within the ring have begun moving? They're probably fighting over who should succeed, or who should be the next boss. Although, to be honest, I wish I could forget I'd ever heard of that smuggling ring. Lang Z says, thoroughly bite the poison snake from head to tail. What the hell does that even mean? No one runs afoul of the law and escapes this wolf's fangs. I'll get you all yet. Youth. When did I become so old, I wonder? Probably when I started working with Mon Karma. I've been noticing the gray hairs in my beard more. I'm thinking of retiring my mirror. Okay. Let's get a move on. Bag! Because we couldn't remember what happened just 5 seconds ago. I was the pink princess and the pink badger all in the span of 2 days. Talk about busy. But it's alright because I got a letter from my beloved Edgy Poo. Please take care of your hip, and when you wish to speak, first take off your headpiece. What does that mean by that last statement? It's not like I enjoy being under a headpiece every time I see him. I mean, an alien, some creepy, fuzzy pink animal, and that was the pink princess, a great heroine of the justice, but since a young maid, I'm going to wear styles in my head around the universe of my own costume, and we're down with the terrible idea. Okay. Okay! It's finally over. I think, yeah, there's one more section.
Whoop! I feel so much better now that the trial's over, and as always, your legal prowess was top-notch, Soy. This is why I worship you, Mr. Edgeworth. This is why I have a picture of you in my apartment with 2 big candles that I saw from a local cathedral next to it. And I kiss the picture every night before I go to bed, and I kiss in the morning right when I wake up.
Yeah, nothing beats the look on Mr. Alba's face when you reveal the ring's secrets. I was amazed. You're like a totally different person when you step in a courtroom.
Mr. Edgeworth is only 10 times fiercer in court.
Based on that information Mr. Alba offered up, they've begun large-scale operations to clean up the rest of the ring, which I'm happy to leave to Franziska and Agent Lay.
So, what are your plans now, Kay?
Oh, well, we've taken care of the creeps who killed my father, so I'm not sure. Hey, I know. Maybe I'll just keep on being Mr. Edgeworth's assistant.
Are you still trying to steal my job, pal?
Just kidding, just kidding. I can't steal something so important to you, Gummy.
You, what a relief.
Okay.
Yes?
Even after all that's happened, are you still planning to become a great thief?
Of course. But I don't want to tarnish the legend of the noble Yagarasu, so I'm doing a hold off on anything until I can make a tight 3-person team of my own.
A 3-person team?
A 3-person team of young beauties the same age as me if possible.
Yes, Kay's Angels! With Edgeworth being like the Charlie.
With those criteria, I highly doubt you'll find the 2 other people you need.
And then 5 seconds later, Kay walks in with Franziska and Maya under her belt.
My father chose to fight for the truth. I think that's what was so noble.
Yeah, oh my gosh! Maya uses Phoenix's resources without him knowing to help Kay. And then all of a sudden, some big guys, come from the Phoenix's office. Just some guy with a big trench coat and like some big pinstripe suit with a baseball bat bursts in the Phoenix's office. Phoenix is just reading his clean throat. What the? Okay, you think is it fine, Mr. Wright? You think you can get on the boss's upper? I don't even know who you are! Well, this is from the boss. He sends his regards. No! Psh, objection! Psh. And then hits Phoenix with a baseball bat.
Nick, why are you knocking your ball bleeding? I'm a bugger!
I think that's what was so noble about him.
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth? The only things I will ever steal are the truths that have been hidden away. I'm work extra hard to make a world where the Yagarasi isn't needed.
Let's both strive for such a future.
Well, I guess it's time for me to get going.
I see.
Hey! Keep your chin up and stay strong, okay? And don't be a stranger.
Don't worry, I'll be back. I'll be sure to break the lock on the window and sneak in.
Which, knowing Kay, I highly believe. If you could, I'd appreciate if you came into the building's front door.
It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. The lock on my window at home has been broken. Been broken forever.
Oh, one thing before I go. Let's take a group picture, just the three of us.
Yeah, commemorative photo. Every big case has end with one.
No. Yes, exactly. Edgeworth and I, we're on that same wavelength.
Hey, why not?
Don't tell me your camera's name, Mr. Edgeworth.
Of course not, detective.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm taking the picture now. Hey, come back here.
Mr. Edgeworth, you can't run away from this, sir.
Okay, Detective Gumshoe. Stop that! I can't be seen doing that.
Okay, I'm totally taking it now. Say cheese.
Rather say no! And thus, the long tail of the KGA incident came to a close. It saw the demise of the smuggling ring and the birth of a little great thief. But there's little time to rest and relax. I am eager to tackle the investigation into a new case. The reason for my eagerness is my want to pursue the truth, and my want to believe in the strength of those who use the power of the law for good. As someone who has chosen to live my life as a prosecutor, that is my new creed.
Say no! You're getting this out whether you want it or not.
Okay, now the series can finally come to an end. Anyways, if we do new game, we can basically go back to the cases. I'll show you Turnabout Ablaze. It has K being, well, K. Anyways, my thoughts on the series. I have to say, like I said, the Ace Attorney Investigation series is my I actually prefer it over the main series just because Edgeworth has so many great moments. Kay has so many great moments. Gumshoe has so many great moments. Everyone really has a lot of great moments. And frankly, I was actually kind of nervous to do this game because, frankly, a lot of the cases, particularly Turnabout, the kidnapped Turnabout, can be a little bit dry at times. Heck, Turnabout Blaze, as you saw, two ending portions consist entirely of basically, we know Alba did it, but yet we constantly have to keep breaking him down. We constantly get holdits, and just, it can be overall irritating. But, you know, I had a lot of fun doing this project, and I had a lot of joy doing it. Heck, it all started with back in Turnabout Visitor, when I was doing Jock's voice with that Michael Jackson voice. With basically him hanging with Jesus. Anyways. And then basically Turnabout Kidnap was made a lot of fun with the whole Mitsubishi jokes. I know I probably drove that one so far to the ground that basically is coming out the other side of the earth. I am sorry for that, but it just made it so much fun for me. Anyways, we're going to have a bonus episode because, as you've noticed, there were no game overs. I did not have any game overs this time around. Yes, an Ace Attorney game where I have at least 3 guilty verdicts a case. Yes, the end of days is truly upon us. But that's because, well, for one thing, you don't really get punished that much when it comes to penalties. And two, the game is a whole lot fairer when it comes to just testimonies. It actually does have a more straight-line view of logic, which actually does make sense considering that, well, this is Edgeworth we're talking about. So, and another reason is that even if I did get a game over, I would have probably cut it out because, well, the game overs in this game are actually very unique. Each portion of the game has its own unique game over section, which is divided into sections of the game. Like, for example, in the first episode, in Turnabout Visitor, there's actually a different game,
a game over scene. The game over scene that you get at the very start of the case is different from the one that you will get at the very end. This is the case for all of the cases. They have, in each section, you have basically a different game over, and I will be showing all of them off in the bonus episodes. Because, thankfully, I discovered because basically, I was fiddling around before recording, and found out that basically, Desume actually has a speed up function, where basically I can actually turbocharge the cases. So I can easily get to the sections, I can easily get the game overs, and basically I can easily show them off. So, in tomorrow's episode, in the one and only bonus video, you're going to be seeing each and every game over with my commentary over it. With timestamps, of course. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a really great viewer, and I'll be coming back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. And with that, I'll see you for the bonus episode. Bye.